Great morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome again to our podcast, Bringing Value. I'm joined again with Ricardo Acevedo.
Hey guys, excited to be here once again.
Awesome, man. Hey, so we talked a lot about off camera. We had two amazing topics, and I think I want to go with kind of something that's more to what I'm doing right now.
Sure.
So, as you know, I have always all these ideas, and I think there's a lot of people, especially my age, that have all these brilliant ideas, like genuine, just empowering, very exciting ideas, and we get overwhelmed.
Right.
And I can tell you right now, especially in the past, and I'm guilty of it, is there's so many times where I'll have this great idea and I'll start the idea, right? I have a lot of energy starting it.
Yeah.
Day 1, I'm starting it. Day 2, I'm starting it. Day 3. And then day 5 comes along, and then guess what? I'm doing something else already.
Right.
Because I got another idea.
Yeah.
Right. And then it's a vicious cycle that just goes over and over.
Yeah.
And so right now I'm doing a crypto course, and I can thankfully say that for like the last about a month, I would say I'm pretty like disciplined. That's a good way of saying it, disciplined.
Yeah.
On finally like just getting one thing done at a time.
Right.
And I wanted to speak to the audience, especially who just have these great ideas and they get so unorganized. And I'm sure that you've been in the same position before.
Absolutely.
And I kind of wanted to hear your point of view on that.
Well, I think you said something that I think that most unsuccessful people have an issue with.
Mm-hmm.
And why I say unsuccessful people is because we have a lot of talented people.
Yeah.
A lot of people that has a lot of talent. They have some bright ideas.
Yeah.
But they never get focused on the idea and execute it because they get sidetracked very easily and they move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
And they never get to actually master the thing that they're working on because they're tasking themselves, but moving on to other tasks while they're actually working on that one.
Yeah.
So they lose interest on the way because there's something else that, that popped up that might show a little bit more exciting or show more interest on it, that eventually they leave that one unattended and they just end up moving on to the next one. I'm a big task per task guy.
Okay.
And a lot of the progress I've had is because I don't move on until I'm done with that specific task. So I think that a lot of the times when we don't have success with certain things that we're doing is not necessarily because we were not going to have success with it, is that we just didn't focus enough time and we didn't spend enough time on that one task to complete it, finish it, and then move on to the next task.
I think because like new is exciting. Like,
sure.
I think that's what it is, right? It's like when you start something, it's exciting at first, and then you like you said, you lose interest on it, and then something new pops up, and new is exciting, right? And then you just push on to the next, next. It's like, how do you what do you do? Like, do you suggest tackling at a later time? Do you just kind of ignore the idea? Like, what do you?
Well, it has to come down to a mindset, right? Is where you need to stay excited and focused with the idea that you're going to initiate it. Why did you begin with?
Okay.
Why did you start it with that? And then what's the why behind it, right? Why did we start it with this idea here and figured out a way to consistently stay connected to the original idea that gave life to that thought and that creation and that plan, to be able to stay engaged with it as you're actually working with it, to make sure you stay engaged with it until you complete it.
It's like having the mindset and the purpose of why you did it in like at the forefront.
And finding a way to revive and remember, why did you start it to begin with? Because there was a purpose right behind it. And how do I keep myself engaged to the original thought that gave me the excitement to begin it with?
I like that. And we talked about it in a previous podcast about purpose, right? We talked about how purpose drives you. It's like a lifetime drive. Yeah. And the same concept, if you try to force this concept of, when you start something and you're just trying to force your way from day 1 to day 2, day 3, and you forget about the purpose, you lose the drive.
Yeah, correct.
You have to keep the purpose. You have to keep the why at the forefront.
And understand why you're doing it so that you're able to stay connected and engage with the process instead of getting, losing interest and then having to move to the next one, because it becomes a habit. Yeah. It becomes a habit, Seth. And now you're that person that jumps from idea to idea to idea and never finding success at anything, because you never get to really stay engaged with that one idea, which was the first or the second, and continue to find the reasons why you started it to begin with and how you stay engaged with it for the long period of time, so you're able to have success and complete that task.
So basically, don't start something just to start it. It's almost like take a step back and define the why.
Correct.
Define the purpose.
Yeah.
And it sounds like to me, because like I'm thinking back to some of the stuff that I was doing in the past that I kind of dropped through.
That works for me, okay?
Yeah.
And that's why I'm sharing, because that's how it works for me.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you right now, like looking back to some of the failures that I've had in the past on like not finishing a specific task, is because the why was benign. It was nothing almost, like it, and it makes sense. Like, duh, if the purpose is not strong enough, what would keep me continuing to do it?
So that means you did something that you should have not done then.
Yeah.
You just went for it the moment of the thought, the emotion.
Yes.
But not something that you really wanted to do, and you just
it was
did
like
anyways.
it was like an impulse, right? And I think honestly, truth to be told too, is whenever the purpose was just money, like, and especially when it was quick money or get rich, they call it get rich quick schemes, right? It never worked out for me.
Right.
Yeah. And looking back, I think that's probably why the purpose was not strong enough to keep me going on it. Because here's the truth too. I think majority of people that start a task, they're going to probably hit early failure. That's the truth. Right. They're going to hit a roadblock, whatever.
Right.
And it's like, what's going to help you, destroy that roadblock? What's going to help you power through it? It's not going to be impulse. It's not going to be just, because I wanted to do it. Right. It's got to be something more powerful. Yeah. It's got to be a purpose. It's got to be a why.
Something meaningful behind it.
Yeah.
That pulls you in the direction of progress in that given task that you're working on.
So what is it? Is it discipline that keeps you on the same path? Because it is easy to walk away, right?
Well, it's a combination of multiple things. I think it's discipline is the purpose behind the thing that you're doing, and for what reason you're doing it. Is this step gonna take me to the next step? Everything that you do in life, I think it has steps, right? You go through step 1, then you go to step 2, then you go to step 3, and I think it's just behind it is it's a combination of multiple things: the discipline, the commitment, and the purpose behind it that is greater than what you're currently doing on the moment, because there's a purpose behind it.
Yeah.
That is going to lead you and push you in the direction that you're going.
We talked about a little off camera. We talked about like the messy, right? And I liked it because Tim Storey talks about it in his book, Miracle Mentality.
Yes.
The example I can give you that I was saying on camera for me, I grew up in a very messy household. Right. Everything was cluttered. Heck, we have suitcases at my mother's house that are from 20 years ago, 30 years ago, with clothes that will never, I promise you, never be worn. Right. And it always gives me almost like anxiety, to be honest, when I walk into that house now, because there's just so much stuff. Right. There's 3 centerpieces to every table. Yeah. There's far too many dishes. There are far too many plates. Right. And it's hard to focus in there, to be very honest.
Of course.
Right. Like the reason I'm telling you this story, because I want to apply it to kind of like when it comes to tasks. Sure. Which is when you're messy mentally, right? Meaning you're mentally have too many things going on in your mind. You're mentally always in a rush. You're mentally, I don't know, we talked about, for example, some people that get ready at home and then they leave the home really messy because it took them that long to get ready. Right. It's almost impossible then to complete your task.
Because you carry those habits into everything else.
Yeah,
Seth.
yeah.
It's how you do the little things that you're going to do the other bigger things in life, right? It starts from your home. Yeah. Your lifestyle. Yeah. Is your lifestyle messy? Yeah. Well, guess what? Your business and your relationships and everything is going to be messy.
Powerful, yes.
Do you see what I'm saying? It starts from the simple things that you do, from getting up, doing your bed, organizing your home, organizing your place, organizing your work environment, organizing the areas that you're surrounded by, because that creates a mindset on how you're attacking the other things around you.
Yes, absolutely.
Do you see what I'm saying? I can't be a very messy guy, for example, messy at home, or a messy person, and then all of a sudden have success in business.
Powerful.
And have a very organized business. Okay. I could be successful in phase of people, but if I'm a messy person, my operation and everything around it is messy. How long could it hold and last that messy growth I had eventually it's going to fall apart because it was built on a messy foundation.
Yes.
Do you see what I'm saying?
100%.
It goes back to how you live life from home, from the little things that you do that are going to translate into everything else that you do in life.
Right. I can tell you, as you're talking to me, I was remembering, unfortunately, when I first started my office. I opened my office I opened a physical office in 2016 or 2017, I believe. And I had 1,100 square foot. It was just one big rectangle. And I want you to imagine 2 desks in that entire 1,100 square foot.
Sure.
So it was very clean because there's only 2 people in there.
Right.
Eventually that 2 desks became 11 desks.
Yeah.
Okay. And as you can imagine, trying to fit 11 desks in a 1,100 square foot rectangle. Literally, at the moment you walked into the office to the very last step of that office, it was desks lined up back to back to back to back. And I used to have my assistant, and then she would always say, "It's really messy in here," because it was gross in there. I'll be very honest.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, like, I wish I had, people talk about it. I wish I knew what I knew now. Right. Because I would always discount the fact, like, well, listen, just get to work, get focused. Don't worry about the mess. Don't focus on the mess, And looking back, it's funny. Everything's 2020 in hindsight. Yeah. I had zero growth from like the moment I got like 8 employees to the next 2 years. Zero growth.
Got it.
Right. And yet the moment I shut down that office after COVID happened, I moved it to a new home office. My home office is immaculate, by the way. I keep that thing clean to the T.
Yeah.
I have way less employees, and yet I 5x'd my gross.
Right.
I don't think that's coincidental.
No, I think you made some adjustments.
Yeah.
And I think those adjustments were made based on your improvement and on your personal growth.
Yes.
That you had through that time.
Absolutely.
That led you to reestablish yourself with a different game plan.
Yes.
And with a more organized mindset.
Yes.
That has allowed you to task yourself more productively.
Yes.
So that there is more progress.
Yeah. I can absolutely say, piggybacking what you said, it's like now that my environment's clean, my mind is clean.
Yeah.
Right. It's like I have clarity on, like you said, tasks.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm not like, I wish I was more military with it, a little bit more focused even. Sure. It's an improvement I'm making. But compared to where I was before to now, I'm far more focused on one task at a time.
Because your mind is less messy.
Yes, absolutely.
You have the ability to focus more. Do you see what I'm saying? Is messy, not just necessarily around, but messy up here.
Yes.
That doesn't allow you to really stay focused and work on the task. Because if you're messy, then you're thinking about everything else and you're not even focused on what you're doing. Therefore, here, you're not being as efficient and as productive as you should be.
Yes.
Because you're working on so many other things. Yes. On the mind, and it doesn't allow you to give you the productivity that you should be getting because you're not 100% there.
I really like that. I want to piggyback on that productivity because you and I are pretty blessed with our schedules. I think you said you work about 6 hours a day, right?
Yeah.
But you're very efficient, you say.
Super efficient.
In those 6 hours.
Yes.
And I'm the same way now. I think when we first started our podcast, and even prior, I was that guy that worked 12 hours a day.
Yeah.
And looking back, I think anyone in the audience can also agree when they're listening to this. We all have been in the place where we're doing something, but our mind is somewhere else, and it takes us much longer than we expected to get that item done. Right. Because you're right, you said you're messy in the mind. Right. And then we can also all agree that when we're in the zone, I call it in the zone because Tim Storey calls it in the zone.
Right.
When you're in the zone, you get stuff done like no other.
But see, that's where you need to know yourself. Is how do you get in that? And how do you maximize that?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think what we're talking about this podcast is how to get to that point. Right. It's be clean at home, focus on one thing at a time. Yeah. All of that is going to help you, I guess, get in the zone.
Okay. So let me take it back there because I've had a conversation like this with one of my agents just recently, and it was the same conversation. And he asked me, so how do I do it, sir? How do I start applying to create more, to rearrange my life, to not be as messy.
Yeah.
It starts at home, man.
Yeah.
Start doing your bed.
Yes.
Start cleaning up your closet.
Yes.
Start cleaning up your room. Start cleaning up the things, the minimal things that will lead you to start building better habits into everything else around you because it starts with the minimal things.
Yes.
And some people may disagree or not, but let me tell you this, if you apply it, I guarantee you that once you start doing those little things, then those things are going to carry you over to do the same things at work, to do the same things in your relationships, to do the same things in other areas. And that's how you start really cleaning up that messy lifestyle that you have because you've taken initiative on doing the little things, just the basic fundamental things that will lead you to eventually create, obviously, a more organized lifestyle at some point.
2 comments on that. One, I will say, because again, this is fairly new for me, but I'm doing a lot of what you're talking about. You feel really good, by the way, when you do this. Like
it's an accomplishment.
Yes, it feels nice when I get out of my bed, make the bed, my closet's clear, all my shoes are lined up perfectly. It feels like something I'm proud of, to be honest. right? So, and I'm also proud of it because I think someone can walk into my house or room, like I mentioned, and they're like, wow, you're really clean. I'm like, actually, I am. I had a friend come over the other day and said, I'm surprised. Most guys that are single living on their own, their house smells like dirty socks. And I was like, well, mine does not smell like dirty socks.
Well, think about it, okay? And now, as we were talking about, I was thinking about my 9-year-old Isaac, who just turned 10 years old.
Okay, congratulations.
Isaac is the guy who's always helping me.
Okay.
At home, we're doing things. We're washing the car. We're organizing the garage. We work out. We organize the stuff back. We clean it. We do it. So Isaac approaches me. He says, hey, Dad, I feel really good after I helped you fix this because I feel proud of what I did.
Yeah.
I say, son, in my opinion, the way I know exactly how it feels is your creation. You did it. You feel good. Think about it. You did something that made you feel good because you organized it, you cleaned it, you did it. How does that make you feel? It makes you feel good, accomplished. Now you go on into the world and you apply the same principles into everything else that you do. How's your mindset? How's your energy?
Powerful, yes.
That carries over from feeling fulfilled that you are accomplishing, and there's things that you have created, and it's a product of your work and your effort that you put in. So we had that conversation, and he says, Dad, I feel really, really good. And you know what, Dad? And I realized that every time I clean my room and I'm done and I organize it, I feel really, really good. So therefore, I have committed that I want to do things this way because it makes me feel proud about myself, Dad.
Powerful.
So, I mean, think about a child of 9 years old, 10 years old, having that conversation with you and understanding the true message behind just doing the little things that can make such an impact in your heart, in your energy, and the way you're going to go out and now do other things in life because of those basic principles, then now you're applying that into your job and in other areas because you have experienced, obviously, the outcome and the feeling of just doing the little things and how is the feeling after, completing that.
You're building momentum.
Yes.
That's what you are. You're building momentum. When we talk about morning routine, all this stuff, this is almost part of that. Right? You're building momentum so that when you get to your task, you're efficient at that task. This is how, and like we've all heard about the 4-hour work week, right? I mean, I don't believe in a 4-hour work week, but I do believe in efficiency. I honestly do disagree with the 8-hour work day. That's my honest truth. I do agree more with the 4 to 6 hour work day because look, you pin me against somebody that works 8 hours a day and I will slam them in 6 because I'm so efficient. I don't have my phone with me. I knock out 100 emails in an hour, no problem, because I'm in the zone, right? And nothing can stop me. And you're right. I'll tell you what, when I'm not in the zone is when I don't get my morning workout in. When I'm not in the zone is when I have my mind elsewhere because something in the morning was cluttered. I had a negative energy in the morning, something like that. You're right. What we're doing here is we're creating a formula to success. And the way to create that formula to success is don't be messy. Be clean. Get yourself organized every morning. Like I said, make your bed, get yourself clean because you are a product of the environment.
Of course.
Right? So, and I wanted to piggyback on the second thing was when you talked about, you said when you do these things, like some people may disagree. I'll tell you what, success has a formula and success leaves clues, right? Sam Bakhtiar, all right, rest in peace, loved him. He used to talk about the night before his workouts. He used to work out at 4 o'clock in the morning, right? 5 o'clock in the morning. He would lay out his clothes for his gym workout. He'd get his protein shake ready to go. He'd get his plasma, which is like a stimulant for blood flow, ready to go, and his little pre-meal ready to go. The night before. The guy wakes up at 4 o'clock in the morning, but the night before he was still setting up. Right?
That's awesome. Amazing.
And so many people will be like, oh, well, I'll wake up early and do it. No, do it now. Do it the night before.
Of course.
Because then that's how you prepare. And this is Sam we're talking about.
Well, listen, it's a mindset. He wakes up, he's seeing everything laid down there. What is that things it does? It triggers his mind. I got to tack this right now, this task.
Yes.
Do you see what I'm saying?
100%.
It's very interesting how it works. And I guess, again, unfolding it and potentially finding a route or a possible way to fix that area if it's something that you are personally experiencing. It's not that complicated. Is going back to just the basic stuff that you could do to start cleaning up a messy lifestyle or a specific messy area in your life. But I guarantee you that it has a root and a foundation, and it goes back to just the most minimal things that you're able to fix and allow that to make an actual impact on other areas of your life.
I like that. And like I said, it ties in well with the topic, which is this is how you don't get overwhelmed. you declutter. Like, to summarize what's going on here is like we declutter, we get organized, we get focused, you get in the zone. And again, don't take it from us. Take it from, like, again, a man like Sam, right? And for those who don't know Sam was an incredibly, incredibly successful human being.
Yes.
Financially, human level, everything. The guy created an empire, honestly. Yeah. And so I guess when you put it in that way, it's just so obvious.
It's because somebody that is successful in all areas of life, Seth, is somebody that lives an organized lifestyle. Yeah. They can be true success.
Yes.
Being unorganized.
100%.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
You could have people that are financially successful, but they're very unorganized in their life, and it's because of bad habits that were created along the way.
Yes.
Yes, they created financial success.
Yes.
But there's a lot of messy rooms. And see, Tim Storey talks about this as well.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
How do you clean up a house?
Yes.
How do you clean up yourself?
Yes.
From all the mundane and the messy?
Yes.
One room at a time.
Yes.
How do you clean up a house? One room at a time.
How do you achieve your goals? One goal at a time. Oh my gosh. That's powerful. Yeah. I like that a lot.
Yeah. And again, we get overwhelmed. Yeah. Because we have so many areas to work on. Okay. Yeah. And that's when we get overwhelmed. How do we start?
Yes.
Right. I want to get there. But I'm a mess.
Yeah.
Right. And that's being real with ourselves. Sometimes that's what holds us back is, hey, I see these people. They're here. I'm here. I want to be there. I think I can get there. But just the thought process of getting there, knowing yourself, not telling anybody, being honest with yourself. You're like, but I'm a mess.
Yeah.
How do I get there? Yeah. It's just impossible. No, it is possible. We got to clean one room at a time, guys. We don't want to clean the whole entire home because now we're overwhelmed about just thinking about cleaning the entire house.
Yes.
But if we focus one room at a time, I guarantee you we're going to clean up that first room. And then we're going to move on to the next task. We go to the next room. And then the kitchen and then the bathroom. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not that complicated, but a lot of times, again, we make it more complicated on ourselves because we overwhelm ourselves.
Yes.
Because we don't go back to just thinking about just how do I just start? How do I just start so I can get in a better rhythm that eventually will lead me to clean up the first room.
Absolutely.
Once I clean up that one, then I'm on to my next area that I need to work on. Cleaning up my eating standards.
Yes.
Cleaning up my bad habits that I have created.
Yes.
Bad eating habits. I don't sleep well.
Yes.
I'm not focused at work.
Yes.
My relationship at home, my relationship with God, right? It has to start up with one area.
One thing at a time.
Cleaning up your finances.
Yes.
Do you see what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? All those are one room in that house.
Wow. Powerful. I think what's incredible is whenever we do these podcasts, it's like everything links together.
Yes.
Like as you were talking about that, I was thinking the compound effect, right? Because as you're cleaning one room at a time, you're compounding that success to the next room.
Yes.
So you're going to have more energy going to the second room. You're going to be better at it in the second room than the third room.
Right.
I know we're using the word room, but the same concept of the same goal, right? One goal to the next.
It's an area on your life.
Of your life.
It's reference to that room.
Yes.
An area of your life.
Yeah.
Whether it's finances,
yes,
your spiritual connection,
yes,
your personal growth,
yes,
your relationship, your community,
yes,
your body, things of that nature.
100%.
Each one of those are one room, one area.
Same concept is like building a business. Once you've built your first successful business, building your second successful business is far easier.
Yeah,
because you're compounding the success of that first one.
You're using everything that you learned from here, and
Correct.
now you're throwing the same formula here.
Yes,
just with a different product,
yes,
right?
Yes.
A different line of thing that you're selling or you're pushing.
It's just, like I said, it's incredible because, again, they all link together.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's weird because it's like the same message, same formula over and over again, but just applied in a different way.
Right.
And I think what's even more powerful is like what Tim Storey talks about is once you get all of this done, you get from the messy, the mundane to the magical.
Yeah.
And like that's what we all want.
Well, we all want to be in the magical, man. And believe me, it's a beautiful place to be.
Yeah.
I've experienced it. And it's like anything else, right? You get to a certain point and then you evaluate it, you make adjustments, and then you continue to move on. But that's a beautiful book, by the way. I think we're promoting Tim Storey. He's an amazing human being, and I think that you guys should pick up that book. It's called The Miracle Mentality. I've read it like 3 times already. It's an amazing book, has changed my life in so many things, and it talks about very, very important things that are fundamental
absolutely
to clean up your life.
Yes.
That will help you eventually succeed in all areas of life.
Yes.
So it goes, it's not a business book, but it ties into the most fundamental things that a human being could have, which is values, in my opinion.
Yes.
And from those good values that you create in your life, therefore you could have success in all areas of life.
Agreed.
By having those principles and those values lined up within yourself.
Very cool. Yeah. Well, listen, we're about almost out of time right here. Do you want to make any last comments before we end?
It's just been very exciting sharing today.
Cool, man.
I got on the zone.
Yes.
And it was very exciting to share. And again, like you said, everything just tied in into so many subjects, but at the same time, all basically tied into just the basics that will allow us to create that organization and an organized lifestyle.
Yeah. To reach that success.
Yes, sir.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Wait, hope you guys enjoyed. Till next time.